evening, everyone. From the Ronald B. Stafford Ice Arena in Plattsburgh, Hometown Cable Sports presents Plattsburgh High School hockey tonight. The Hornets getting set to start on the Northwood B team as Plattsburgh looks to get back to that ever-elusive 500 mark. They are looking for their third consecutive win. Eric Reed brings it in for the Hornets off the draw, sends it in around back of the net. Bootsiat goes after it for Plattsburgh, and here comes Northwood out with it. Steve Crawford moving in, waits, and he falls into the corner. Centering pass in front for Tom Bergmeyer is broken up. Now Eric Reed for Plattsburgh sends it around back of the net for Luckin. Puck is sent into the far corner for Reed. He sends it back around to the other side, but it's broken up and back by Bergmeyer. His centering pass is broken up. It comes to the point where it's broken up by Ed Newman. And now his brother Jeff Newman takes it behind the net. Sends it up to Bergmeyer, and he dumps it into the Plattsburgh zone. Unkin Patel chases after it. He's bothered on the play. And now Plattsburgh comes out with it. That's Jeff Lattenville with the puck. Lattenville dumps it in. It'll be taken in back of the net by Sean Rasko. Rasko tries to find Bucci in front, and a glove save by goaltender Gary Belfour. 13 minutes, 46 seconds to go in the opening period. Starting in the nets tonight for the Hornets, senior goaltender number 31, Rob Dandro, and for Northwood, number 35, Gary Belfour. Off the face-off, it's controlled by the Hornets. Rasko dumps it into the corner. Bucci with it behind the net, tries to find Lattenville in front. The pass is behind him. Dingman keeps it in at the point. Goes in behind the net. Bucci centering past Rasko. Shot saved by Belfour, and he covers up. .26 to go in the first period, still scoreless, as the Hornets are taking on the Northwood B team. Plattsburgh has the line out there of Lattenville at center with Bucci and Rasko at wings. Defensive pair of Dingman and Patel. Puck is dumped into the Northwood zone. Jeff Newman with it up at center ice. He dumps it in. Patel will go after it. Now Patel tries to clear. He's knocked down by Crawford. Centering pass by Crawford is broken up by Rasko, and Rasko dumps it down. Belfour will make the stop and pass it up to Bergmeyer. Now Bergmeyer hits Crawford. Pass is too far for him. Paul Sherman dumps it down to the Northwood zone. Ed Newman, he sends it to center, and it's sent in by Zuckerman. Belfour makes the stop. Leaves it for Newman. Now Bergmeyer tries to come out with it. He dumps it into the Plattsburgh zone, and we'll have an icing call. 12.5 minutes to go in the opening period. We want to thank once again our ever-growing list of viewer patrons. Viewer patrons are people who have sent in $12 or more to the Cable Committee. The Cable Committee is chaired by Foxy Gagnon, and they're responsible, along with Calvin Castine of Hometown Cable, for the programming that comes out here on Channel 29. Now here comes Northwood in it. Bob Montgomery shot. A save by Dandro. Montgomery moved in alone, and Dandro covers up with a glove hand. Breaking in a new cameraman today for Hometown Cable. We want to thank Dick Knowles for doing our filming for us tonight. Now it comes back to the point. A shot goes wide from the point from Brian Glennie. In behind the net now, Montgomery with it, tries to center it. In front there is Hoffman, but it's broken up by the Hornets' Bootsiat. Glove save by Belfour. He drops it in back of the net for Russ Wallace. Now it comes back to the point. Dingman shot saved by Belfour. Puck bounces through. And now Wallace tries to clear it out, and here comes Northwood. 2-on-1 with a shot. Hoffman goes just wide. Now Bootsiak sends it to Reed. Reed is hit on the play by Jeff Newman. Now Bergmeyer comes in to help out. The puck comes back to Dingman. And the puck ends up in the Northwood zone. Going after it is Ed Newman. Newman's pass broken up by Luckin. Now Bucci dumps it in. Rasko clears the zone, and the Hornets will go back after it. Jeff Newman takes it around back of goaltender Gary Belfour. Now Lattonville steals it, moves in. Belfour makes the save. Another shot, and it's blocked in front. Puck comes out to Belfour, and he covers up, and we get the whistle. 10 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the opening period. Off the face-off, Crawford tries to clear it out. It comes back to Newman. He dumps it up to center, jumps over the stick of Sherman. Now puck out to center. Newman puts it right into the stick of Rasko. Rasko moves in. Can't get off the shot. He was bothered in the play by Ed Newman. Now Bucci in the corner. Bothered by Jeff Newman. Rasko comes in to help out. Comes out with a puck. Stops. Can't get off the shot. And Belfour dives on it. Plattsburgh has had some good scoring opportunities, but hasn't been able to connect, as Belfour has looked good so far for Northwood. Off the face-off, Lattonville gets off a shot that goes wide. Russ Wallace takes it around back of the net. Kept in at the point by Sherman. Now to the far point. Luckin tries to clear it in behind the net. Goes onto the stick of Rasko for Plattsburgh. He gets around one man, but Montgomery's right there to clear it. Kept in at the point by Luckin. Now Wallace finally gets it out to center ice for Northwood. Plattsburgh dumps it back in. Bucci breaks his stick. He'll go to the bench and make a change. Shot in. Glove save by Dandro. Leaves it for Paul Sherman. Comes back to the point. Shot goes off the skate of Ryan Miller. And now Sherman for Plattsburgh. Can't clear it. Kept in by Wallace. Puck bounces into the near corner. Luckin comes out with it. Gets it to Miller. Miller loses it to Montgomery. Now right in front was number 7, Steve Owen, and he couldn't get off a good shot. Now Hoffman moves in. Gets it back to Montgomery. Broken up nicely by Zuckerman. Puck comes out to center. Brian Glennie gets it up for Steve Owen. Owen weakly tries to dump it in. It's broken up by Miller. And now Lucas dumps it in, and out with it comes Jeff Newman. Newman moves in. Shot, score! Newman beat Dandro on the glove side shoulder. And Northwood leads it 1-0. The goal comes at 6:06 of the first. And Jeff Newman went from one end of the ice to the other, and it puts his team on top. Off the face-off, Newman dumps it in once again. Dingman sends it up to center. Newman right there to send it back in, but offside on the play was Steve Crawford. 8 minutes and 45 seconds remain in the opening period. They whistle Northwood for the intentional offside. They'll bring the face-off deep in Northwood territory to the right of goaltender Gary Belfour. Reed gets it for the Hornets off the face-off. He loses it. Northwood tries to come out with it. Crawford with the puck. Knocked down on the play by Patel. Gets back up. Dingman comes in after it. Now the puck comes back to the point. Shot there is blocked. Here comes Plattsburgh 2-on-1. Reed and Bootsiet. Reed walks in. Shot, glove, saved by Belfour. Bootsiet was open in front, but Reed chose to shoot the puck. And Gary Belfour has been a standout so far. Off the face-off, comes to Reed, backhand shot, glove save, Belfour, and he covers up. .8:13 to go in the opening period, 1-0. Northwood leads it. Plattsburgh looks to get back to the 500 mark for the first time in quite a while. 5-6 coming into today's game. Now behind the net, centering pass for Bootsiet is broken up. And here comes Northwood back with it. Jerry Carter dumps it in. Carter takes it in back of the net. Now Sherman gets it for Plattsburgh. Up for Bootsiet. He's bothered on the play by Hoffman. It comes back to Sherman. Puck comes out to center ice. Plattsburgh comes out with it. Reed shot, save, Belfour. Northwood's got a penalty coming up. Cross-checking will be called on Northwood. Let's see who's going to get the penalty here. I think it's going to be number 18, Glenn Hoffman. And Hoffman will get the penalty. And we'll see the Hornets on the power play. Penalty comes at 7:18 of the first. And it'll give Plattsburgh a golden opportunity to tie this game. Face-off to the right of Gary Belfour. Bergmeyer takes it for Northwood. Lattonville for Plattsburgh. Lattonville wins it. It comes back to the point for Luckin. He gets it over to Bucci. Bucci tries to find Rasko in front, and he couldn't poke it home. Rasko gets it back behind the net. Comes out to the face-off circle. Drops it for Dingman. Now back to Rasko. Rasko waits. Gets it over to Bucci, and Bucci gets off a very weak shot. Now, Dingman tried to keep it in, but it was just offside. 7:14 to go. Opening period, 1-0 the score. You're watching Plattsburgh High School hockey on Hometown Cable. Minute 2 seconds to go in the Hornet power play. Lattonville, Bucci, and Rasko, the offensive line for Plattsburgh. Now it comes to Bryce Dingman. He dumps it in. Plattsburgh will chase after it. Newman gets to it first for Northwood. Tries to clear. Comes right out in front for Lattonville. And his shot broken up by Belfour. Now into the corner. And they tie it up for a whistle. 45 seconds to go in the opening period. Or in the Plattsburgh power play. 6:57 in the period. Plattsburgh makes a line change. They send out the forward line of Bebo, Bootsiet, and Reed. Patel and Dingman, the defensive pair. Off the draw, it comes over to the near boards and sent down ice by Brian Glenny. Dandro tried to send it up for Bootsiet, but it was broken up by Crawford. Now Dingman gets it back for Plattsburgh. 30 seconds to go in the power play. Now Bebo dumps it in. Goes onto the stick of Reed. Reed shot off the post and put into the net by number 10, Bob Montgomery. So for the second game in a row, we've seen the Hornets benefit from an opposing defender kick it into his own net. And all of a sudden, we are tied at 1. The goal comes at 8:26 It's a power play goal. They'll give credit to it to Reed, giving an assist to Dingman. But the guy that really should be credited with it is number 10, Bob Montgomery, because he put it into the net. Now into the corner in the Northwood zone. That's Russ Wallace falling. Don Stapleton comes after it. Gets it back to Wallace. He spins around. Gets it back up to Stapleton. Stapleton finds Bergmeyer. Far side, Steve Owen moves in. Gets off a weak shot. Dandro makes the save. Gets it to Bebo. Sent around back of the net for Patel. He didn't see it. Now he does, but Bergmeyer's there. Stapleton with a shot that Dandro stops. And here comes the Hornets. Bebo, we get the whistle. And we're going to have a roughing penalty. And the Hornets will have another power play. This penalty comes at 9:11. And it's on number 16, Tom Bergmeyer, for roughing. Plattsburgh 1 for 1 on the power play. We'll try to get another. Now it comes back to the point. Sherman sends it around back of the net. Ed Newman tries to clear it out, but it's kept in at the far side by Luckin. Luckin tried to get it to Rasko, but it was broken up there by Jerry Carter. He sends it down ice. Dandro gets it over to Sherman. Sherman in back of the net. Up for Bucci. Now Luckin with the puck for the Hornets. Crosses the blue line, winds up, weak shot, goes wide. Lattenville after it for Plattsburgh. He takes it in back of the net. Looks for someone in front. No one there. Belfour sticks it aside. Puck comes back to the point for Luckin. Rasko didn't see the pass. It goes in behind him where Newman goes after it. Now he sticks it up to Carter. Carter tried to clear. Luckin kept it in. In front, Newman dives after it and clears it out to center. Sherman sends it in. The Hornets will clear. And we get the icing call, or the offside call, rather. 4:48 to go in the opening period. 29 seconds in the Plattsburgh power play. "1-1 is the score. Off the draw, comes to the near side. Patel goes after it. He sends it up to center. Bebo dumps it in. Butsiet chases after it. Comes back to center. Far side, Reed will dump it in. 15 to go on the power play. Belfour leaves it behind the net. Now it goes under the stick of Reed. Butsiet saved by Belfour. Now Butsiet gets it back, walks in, score! Just as the penalty to Bergmeyer was expiring, Butsiet got his own rebound and beat Belfour. And the Hornets lead it 2-1. This one comes at 10:41. Butsiet will get the goal unassisted. And here comes Plattsburgh again. Reed shot, saved Belfour. The puck falls down, and the defenseman covers it up. And we'll get a whistle. That was Brian Glennie, number 14, coming awful close to covering it up in the crease, which would have led to a Hornet penalty shot. Face off to Belfour's right, comes back to Patel. His shot goes wide. Glennie takes it around back of the net, tried to find Bergmeyer. The pass was behind him. Reed gets Butsiet in front, shot off the post, and Belfour covers up. Furious action around goaltender Gary Belfour. "2-1 is the score. Plattsburgh on top. Northwood got the first goal of the game. Jeff Newman scored at 6:06. But goals from Eric Reed and Mike Boutsiet have put the Hornets on top. Now Northwood scores. Montgomery made up for the one he kicked into his own net by beating Dandro with a shot from the blue line. Goal comes at 11:10. Now Miller tried to come out with it. He lost the puck to Hoffman. Newman couldn't keep it in at the point. Now Miller dumps it in for Plattsburgh. Corey Lucas goes after it. Ed Newman beat him to it. Now Hoffman up for center, but it's broken up by Miller. Pass was too far for Rasko. And now the puck comes out to center. Sherman dumps it in. Taken by Jeff Newman. He winds up. Dandro makes the glove save. Leaves it for Sherman. Now to Bucci at center. He falls on the play. Bergmeyer dumps it in. Now Bergmeyer behind the net. Gets it to Crawford. Crawford back to the point. Glennie winds up. Goes off a man in front. Back to the far point. Kept in by Wallace. Bergmeyer bothered in the play by Sherman. Takes it around back of the net. 2.5 to go in the period. Now Bucci breaks it up and gets it to Rasko. Rasko moves in. Shot saved! Gary Belfour stops Rasko. And the game stays tied at 2. Now it comes back to the point. Sent in wide by Dingman. Northwood comes out with it. Crawford crosses the blue line. Gets around Patel. Centering pass, but it's broken up by Dingman. Kicks it back to the point, comes to Glennie. His shot broken up. Crawford sends it around back of the net. Bergmeyer open in front. Can't get off the shot as Bucci was there. Now the puck comes out to center. Sent in by Glennie. Pass from Dingman went too far for Rasko. Glennie gets to it. Plattsburgh on a line change. Here comes Hoffman. Hoffman moves in, winds up, shot blocked by Sherman. Now Carter for Northwood. Falls down. Reed gets it up to Boutsiet. Boutsiet moves in, gets it to Bebo, back to Boutsiet. Comes in front for Reed, and Belfour comes out to kick it away. Backhand shot from Boutsiet went wide as we approach the 1-minute mark here in the opening period. Newman passes it up to Montgomery. Now Hoffman. Here comes Northwood. Northwood moves in. Shot, glove save by Dandro. And he'll cover up. 56 seconds to go. Opening period. 2-2 the score. Face-off comes to the right of goaltender Rob Dandro. Bebo to take the draw for Plattsburgh. Hoffman for Northwood. Now it comes to Carter off the face-off. He moves in, can't get off the shot. Now that was Hoffman who poked it through, and Dandro covers up once again. "51 seconds to go. Plattsburgh makes some changes. Lattenville's line is out there now. Hoffman line still out there for Northwood. Now off the face-off, the Hornets come out with it. Dingman's pass went too far for Lattenville. goes into the corner. Steve McDonough falls down, manages to get it to Hoffman. We get a glove pass called. So with 33 seconds to go, the face-off will come deep in Northwood territory to the left of Gary Belfour. Lattonville takes the draw. At the point, Dingman and Patel. Controlled by Northwood off the face-off. Glennie comes out with it. Comes up to center, broken up by Dingman. Bergmeyer gets it now. He moves in. Offside on the play was Crawford as he got tangled up with Sean Rasco. "21 seconds remain on the scoreboard. Face-off comes back to Northwood. Now it's sent back down by the Hornets. Glennie behind his own net. Gets it over for Crawford over his stick. Dingman sends it in. We get the whistle with 4 seconds to go, and the face-off will be brought outside the Northwood zone. So with just 4 seconds to go on the clock, it appears as though both teams will head to the locker room tied at 2. Off the face-off is controlled by Northwood. Bergmeyer winds up, gets off the shot, but it's after the whistle. And we will end one tied at 2. Let's recap the scoring for you. Northwood took a 1-0 lead 6 minutes and 6 seconds into the period as Jeff Newman scored on an end-to-end rush. Newman at 6:06 makes it 1-0 Northwood. Plattsburgh tied it up, the power play goal at 8:26 as Eric Reed scored. Although did he? It appeared as though Bob Montgomery kicked it into his own net. They gave Reed credit for the goal with an assist to Bryce Dingman. Power play goal from Reed at 8:26 ties it at 1. Plattsburgh takes the 2-1 lead as Mike Boutsiet scores at 10:41. But just 29 seconds later, Montgomery makes up for kicking one into his own net by putting a blast past Andro. That comes at 11:10, and that's how we end the second period, tied at 2. Second period about ready to begin here at the Stafford Ice Arena in Plattsburgh. Hometown Cable bringing you coverage of Plattsburgh High School hockey. Off the face-off, Bergmeyer walks in on Dandro, moves in, can't get off the shot. Goes crashing into the net. And now the puck comes over to the near side for Reed. He puts it onto the stick of Crawford. Now manages to get it back, sends it out, and Newman brings it in offside. Northwood took the lead at 1-0 in the opening period. 2 goals from Plattsburgh and then 1 from Northwood to close out the period. Put us to where we are right now, tied at 2. Now Newman chases after it. Hit on the play by Bebo. Reed centering pass, broken up in front by Lynn James. Now Reed gets it back. Took it from Bergmeyer. Sends it back to Boutsiet, went behind him. Here comes Crawford. Crawford moves in for Northwood. He's tripped on the play by Sherman, and Sherman is going to get a minute and a half. Bebo makes the touch, and Northwood will go on the power play for the first time today. Crawford was moving in, and Sherman dumped him. Penalty comes 51 seconds into the second period. And we'll see what Northwood could do. Plattsburgh 1 for 2 on the power play in the first period. Comes back to the point for Wallace. Far side for Glennie, winds up, saved by Dandro, and he covers up. That took 8 seconds off the penalty. Dingman takes the draw against Hoffman. Miller tried to clear. Hoffman's spin around shot went wide. Carter goes after it. Center around, back of the net. Hoffman beats Miller to the puck. Hoffman waits. Centering pass to Carter. Back to the point for Glennie. Back to Carter. Moves in. Tried to find the man in front, Montgomery. He spins around. Gets it over to Wallace. Now Dingman breaks it up behind the net. Can't clear it. And now Zuckerman will. At center ice, Hoffman with the puck for Northwood. Now he winds up, shot blocked by the defenseman. Dandro makes the easy save, sends it into the corner for Miller. Now Bergmeyer, top of the face-off circle. Fiddles, diddles, moves in, drops it back to the point for Wallace. Winds up, shot, saved by Dandro, and he covers up. 22 seconds to go in the power play. 13:01 in the second period. We're still tied at 2. Face-off will come up to Dandro's left. Plattsburgh makes the change. Sends out Patel to take the face-off. Comes back to the point for Newman. Winds up, save Dandro. Rebound comes out of the stick of James. Now it's broken up by Reed, and he comes out for Plattsburgh. Reed dumps it in and drops back. Crawford comes out with it for Northwood. 5 seconds to go in the man advantage. Pass is too far for James. He'll take it into the corner. Now both teams back at full strength as Sherman comes out of the ice. Now Sherman goes to the bench as Sean Rasko comes on. And Rasko gets it for Plattsburgh. He moves around James. Bergmeyer's there to take it away. Now Bucci comes after it. Lattonville was dumped at center and there was no call. He got up slowly and he'll come to the bench. James gets it up to Bergmeyer. Has Crawford with him. Bergmeyer lost control as Dingman was closing in. Now Crawford comes in to help out. He moves in front, winds up. Save Dandro. The puck trickles through. Dandro made the original save, but the puck managed to trickle between his legs. And Northwood takes the 3-2 lead. Crawford will get credit for the goal. And Bergmeyer will get an assist. And Plattsburgh will have to come from behind once again. Off the face-off. It's dumped into the Northwood zone. Reed goes after it. He loses it to Montgomery, who gives it right to Butsiak. And his shot was blocked by Hoffman. Now Reed with a shot. Belfour makes the save. Leaves it for Glennie behind his own net. Glennie moving out with it. Up to Montgomery at center. Now to Hoffman. Hoffman tried to drop it back, but it was broken up by Sherman. Now in back of the net, Carter. Open in front, Hoffman, and his shot was blocked by Bebo. Hornets come out 3-on-2. Butsiak with it. Has Reed in front. Just behind Reed. And Belfour comes out to poke it away. The pass was just a bit behind Reed. Now Butsiak with a shot. Saved by Belfour. And now it comes out to center. Luckin with it for Plattsburgh. Gets it over to Reed, and Reed dumps it in. And 14 people behind the Plattsburgh bench are all thankful that clearing blast was a bit lower than the top of the bench. Now Wallace starts out with it. He dumps it in. Luckin broke up the dump-in pass. And now Rasko comes out for Plattsburgh. Rasko winds up, saved by Belfort. Puck bounces into the corner. Bucci, weak centering pass, goes onto the stick of Crawford, and Crawford comes out. 3-on-2 for Northwood. Crawford shot way wide. Puck comes right back out in front onto Crawford's stick. He sends it in. Dandro comes out to poke it away. Comes out of the stick of Bucci, who got it to Lattenville. And he's content to clear it to center. Rasko is dumped from behind right in front of the official, and there's no call. Here comes Newman moving in front. Gets it to Crawford. He tips it just wide. Now Bergmeyer after it for Northwood. Backhand shot trickles into the corner. Sherman chases after it with James. Now Sherman up ice for Rasko. Far side to Bucci. 3-on-2 for Plattsburgh. Bucci winds up. Glove save, Belfort. Drops it for Jeff Newman. He loses control to Rasko. Now Lattenville looks for a man in front and finds James of Northwood. And he comes back. End-to-end action here in the second period. Hornets and Northwood. 3-2 the score. Northwood in the lead. They took the lead 3 minutes into this second period. Now Plattsburgh makes a line change. Northwood starts out with it. Hoffman at center, crosses the blue line, moves in on Patel, waits, gets off a shot that's blocked by Dingman. Now Patel for Plattsburgh tries to clear. He's hauled down on the play, manages to get it to center ice. Dumped in by Northwood. Dingman winds up, tried to clear it, couldn't do it. Now that's Corey Lucas for Plattsburgh trying to clear. He puts it on Montgomery's stick. Jerry Carter now tried to get it back to Hoffman. And now Montgomery gets it back at the top of the face-off circle. Sends it around back of the net for Carter. He couldn't get it. Hoffman with it. Stood up on the play by Dingman. Hoffman takes a punch at Dingman. And it looks like they're going to send both guys off. And Hoffman has the audacity to say, "What for?" Hoffman threw a punch at Dingman. Gets a penalty for it. Dingman gets a minute and a half for receiving a punch. And they'll be skating for a side. .8:29 to go in the second period. Northwood leads it 3-2. The face-off will be in Plattsburgh territory to the right of Rob Dandro. Crawford will take the draw against Bebo. Now it comes back to the point for Glennie. He tried to find Bergmeyer in front of the net, but Reed was there to break it up. Bebo for the Hornets. Sends it back to the side for Reed. Now back to Bebo. They cross center. We're going to have a penalty coming up on Northwood as Luckin was hauled down from behind by Bergmeyer. Dandro makes it to the bench, but just as the whistle blows, and Bergmeyer will go for holding as he hauled down Scott Luckin behind the play. Eight minutes and 3 seconds to go, and now Plattsburgh will have a power play. It'll be 4-on-3 for 1 minute and 4 seconds when the penalties to Hoffman and Dingman will expire. Bebo gets the draw back to Luckin. He sends it back across ice for Reed. Winds up. Shot is blocked by Crawford. Comes over for Bootsiet, but Newman got there to break it up just in time. Reed tripped over the blue line as the puck goes down ice, and Dandro leaves it for Luckin. Now Luckin leaves it for Reed. He dumps it in. Plattsburgh will chase after it. Bootsiet gets to it first. He's hit by Newman, manages to get around him, and it comes back to the point. Reed keeps it in. He winds up with a shot. Saved by Belfour. And here comes Northwood. Crawford with the puck. 20 seconds to go, and then it'll be back 5-on-4 for Plattsburgh. It's dumped in. Belfour leaves it up for Crawford, and Northwood clears it down to the Plattsburgh zone. 7:05 to go in the second. Northwood leads it 3-2. Plattsburgh on the power play. And Plattsburgh will be called for icing. There's one thing you don't want to have happen. It's be called for icing when you're on the power play. And that's what happened to the Hornets right here. 25 seconds to go in the second period. It's 3-2 Northwood. Penalties to Dingman and Hoffman have expired. So it's 5-on-4 for Plattsburgh. Lattonville loses the face-off to Hoffman. He moves in, and Dandro makes the save. That took 4 seconds off the power play. Now, this time the face-off comes back to Dingman, but the ref gets in the way. And now Plattsburgh will try to come out with it. Rasko for Lattonville. Lattonville moves in. Still controls it. Backhand shot saved by Belfour. And the puck comes out in front for James. He tried to clear. And now both teams are back at full strength. Bucci tried to clear it in. Went right into the stick of James. He gets it over to Montgomery. He leaves it for Hoffman. 2-on-1. Hoffman winds up. Shot. Saved. Dandro. Rebound to Montgomery. Dandro will cover up. There's one thing we've seen so far in this game tonight. Dandro has been a bit shaky on the long shots. .6:15 to go in the second period. Northwood leads it 3-2. You're watching Plattsburgh High School hockey on Hometown Cable. Off the draw, it's sent in. Dandro makes the easy save and gets it over to Corey Lucas. Now Luckin brings it out. Miller crosses the Northwood blue line. Tried to get it back to the point for Luckin. Luckin sends it back to Miller. In front is Lucas. Now Miller with a backhand shot. Saved by Belfour. Penalty coming up in front as we got a Hornet player who was mauled by Newman. The injured Hornet is sophomore forward Ryan Miller. And the Hornets will go on the power play. Miller is up, and he'll make it off the ice under his own power. And it'll be a double minor. So Plattsburgh will have a 3-minute power play. Hornets go on the power play for 3 minutes with 5:45 to go in the second period. They trail 3-2. Now Reed gets it for Plattsburgh. He waits, drops it back to the point for Bucci. Back to Reed. Reed moves in, shot, saved by Belfour. 2:45 to go in the Plattsburgh power play. Face-off will come to the left of Belfour. Bebo takes the draw against Crawford. Bebo wins it, comes back to the point for Bucci. Now centering pass from Reed went behind Rasko. Rasko drops it back to Bucci. He waits, and Reed put it under the stick of James. And he dumps it into the Plattsburgh zone. Dingman gets it for the Hornets. Now he sends it around to the near side for Bucci. Back to Dingman. Plattsburgh a bit tied up in their own end. Now up to center to Rasko. He dumps it in, but Newman is right there to send it right back out. Now Reed tried to move in. He was stood up by Newman. Puck comes back to Bucci. He got it to Rasko. Now Bebo. Far side for Reed. Back to Rasko. He moves in, waits, but right there to break it up is Hoffman. Now Hoffman couldn't control it, or he might have had a break. Minute 40 to go in the Plattsburgh power play. Hoffman winds up and sends it down ice. Bucci gets it for Plattsburgh. Up to Bebo. Plattsburgh starting to make some line changes now as Zuckerman hits the ice. Dingman dumps it in. Behind the net, Newman winds up, one off the stick of Lucas. And now Miller keeps it in. He's recovered from his injuries. Now Luckin can't keep it in at the point. A minute 5 to go. Northwood, a fine job of penalty killing so far. Luckin drops it to Paul Sherman. His pass goes to Jeff Newman of Northwood. Centering pass right to the stick of Zuckerman. Now Lucas tried to poke it in, but Belfour was there. Luckin can't keep it in at the point. Plattsburgh clears. 38 seconds to go in the power play. Shot from down ice is stopped by Dandro. He clears it up to Sherman. Northwood makes a line change. Luckin has it. He waits. Bothered on the play by Carter. Now Lucas at center. Dumps it in. Belfour makes the stop. Leaves it in back of the net. Taken there by Glennie, and he slowly sends it down ice. 10 seconds to go in the power play. And Northwood is going to successfully kill a 3-minute man advantage for the Hornets. Now Glennie breaks it up, sends it back in, and both teams are now at full strength. Crawford brings it in for Northwood. Zuckerman tried to clear. Now it comes onto the stick of Montgomery. Back to Bergmeyer. Bergmeyer winds up, and Dandro makes the save. Now into the near corner. Puck comes back out to Bergmeyer. He sends it in behind the net. Sherman takes it for Plattsburgh. What is he doing? Brings it right out in front, and he's sent sprawling into his goaltender by Crawford. Now Bergmeyer winds up. Kick save by Dandro. Puck ends up into the corner to Wallace. Wallace, bothered by Sherman. He sends the puck onto the mesh. Now Wallace falls down. Tries to pass it ahead. Gets his own glove pass back. Comes to the point. Now in behind the net for Crawford. Montgomery with it. Drops it to Glennie. He winds up. Puck comes rolling into Dandro, and he covers up with Wallace standing right in front of the net. .144 to go in the second period. 3-2 the score. Northwood leads it. They have the lone goal in this second period. Crawford from Bergmeyer at 3:01. Now here comes Bucci for the Hornets. Crosses the blue line. Moving in. Tries to get on Belfour, but it's broken up by Newman. Now the puck comes around back of the net. McDonough tried to clear, but it was broken up there. James gets it for Northwood, and he comes out with it. James moves in, but it's broken up nicely by Patel. James managed to keep it in at the blue line. He's hacked at by Patel. Centering pass, broken up by Bebo. And now Butsiet for Plattsburgh, moving in. Drops it back to Bebo, but he was pulled down on the play by James, and Butsiet and James collide. Less than a minute to go in the second period. Now McDonough sends it in. Stopped by Patel. Plattsburgh tries to come back. Now Reed comes in offside. In ahead of the play a step too soon was Butsiet. Plattsburgh will make a line change, as does Northwood. 47 seconds to go in the second period. Face-off is controlled by Russ Wallace. He dumps it in. Hoffman chases after it with Sherman. Now Carter is roughed off the puck behind the net. Pass from Sherman is broken up by Montgomery. Now up to Rasko for the Hornets. He gets it over to Bucci. He comes out, has Lattonville at his back. And now Bucci loses the puck. Rasko comes in to help out, and it's taken away by Wallace. Wallace for Northwood. Over to Carter. Carter lost it to Lattonville. 5 seconds to go. Wallace gets it out to center. Puck comes back in, and that is going to end the second period. So a low-scoring period, despite the fact we had end-to-end action for about a 6-minute span in the early goings of the period. The only goal in the period came at 3:01 as Steve Crawford scored with an assist from Tom Bergmeyer. So after 2 periods of play from the Stafford Ice Arena, it's Northwood 3 and Plattsburgh 2. You're watching Plattsburgh High School hockey on third period, set to get underway. And Plattsburgh trails it 3-2 with 15 to go. Plattsburgh looking to get back to 6-6. Northwood looking to pull off the upset. Off the face-off, it's dumped into the Northwood zone. Crawford gets it up to Bergmeyer, but it's kicked in at the point by Sherman. Backhand shot by Bucci, is stopped by Belfour. Now back to the point for Sherman. Comes in front. Bucci all alone. Waits. Belfour with a beautiful save. All Bucci had to do was get the puck in the air, and he couldn't do it. Belfour robs him. You won't get a better scoring opportunity than that. Now Northwood comes out with it. Went too far for James, and Plattsburgh sends it back in. McDonough tries to clear. It comes all the way down. Officials rule that Luckin could have played it. Crawford gets it first for Northwood. Looks for a man in front. There's Bergmeyer. Big save by Dandro. Now Lattonville for Plattsburgh. Can't get around Newman. McDonough takes it in back of the net. Over to Bergmeyer. Crossing the blue line. Luckin takes a couple whacks at him. Bergmeyer takes it around back of the net. Passes it to James. He couldn't get off a shot. Now Bergmeyer in front. Glove save by Dandro. Now Luckin is content just to ice the puck as Plattsburgh desperately needing a line change. 13:42 in the third. 3-2 Northwood. Face off deep in Plattsburgh territory. To the right of Robbie Dandro. Now Boutsiet tried to come out with it, but it was broken up by Hoffman. Boutsiet gets it back. Can't clear. Kept in by Glenny. He flips it in. Dandro makes the glove save. Leaves it for Patel. Patel's pass went too far for Reed. Now Hoffman with it. Gets it into Montgomery. Carter is open in front. But it comes back to the point. Wallace sends it back in. Patel's there to clear it right back out. Now Montgomery takes a swing at Patel. And we're going to have a penalty coming up. Patel will get the penalty, believe it or not. Patel is going to get a penalty for slashing. And this is just a terrible call, folks. Patel may have taken the slash at Montgomery, but there is no doubt that Montgomery took a punch at Patel. Maybe someday they'll bring instant replay to high school hockey games. We've seen a few missed calls tonight that probably could have been used. This one was just atrocious. Now it comes back to the point. Bergmeyer at the face-off circle winds up and shot it wide. Crawford gets it for Northwood. Inside to James. Back to Crawford. His shot deflected wide. Bebo chases after it. Bergmeyer beat him to it. Bergmeyer back to the point for Newman. Over to Crawford. Crawford waits. Finds Bergmeyer. And broken up by Luckin. Here comes Bebo on a break. 2-on-1. Has Reed on his left. Bebo gets it to Reed. Shot saved by Belfour. Reed gets it back. Sends it into the corner. Bebo sends it around to the other side for Reed. And now it's taken by Newman of Northwood. Up to James. Pass too far for Bergmeyer. Crawford picks it up. Dropped it for Bergmeyer, but Bucci was there to clear. 25 seconds to go in the power play for Northwood. Now Bergmeyer at center. Loses it to Dingman. Bergmeyer gets it back. Brings it up to center. Crosses the blue line. 5 seconds to go. Bergmeyer looks for the man open in front. That's James. Now James comes behind the net. Pulled down by Luckin. Backhand shot. Big save by Dandro. Now the puck bounces back out in front. There's Glenny winding up. Shot blocked by Dandro. Now Lattenville tries to clear. He manages to get it to center. Furious action in front of Dandro, but he's come up big. Now Bucci works hard behind the net. Manages to get it to Rasco, but it's broken up. And here comes Northwood. Dingman missed Hoffman. Now Carter shot just wide. Now the puck comes out in front for Lattenville. Pass too far for Rasco. Glenny gets it for Northwood. Up to Montgomery. Dingman manages to break it up. It was headed for Carter. Now Rasco moves in. No one open in front. He'll have to do it himself. He tries to, but Wallace is there to stop him. Glenny for Northwood. Gets it to Montgomery. Open in front is Carter. Carter moves in. Shot saved by Dandro. Now the puck comes up to the face-off circle. Carter finds Crawford in front. Montgomery's shot is blocked by his own man. The shot went off. Glenny into the corner, and Dingman will ice it. 10 minutes, 1 second to go in the third period. And we've had end-to-end action so far. Northwood leads it 3-2. And both these teams have got to be getting tired, as this has definitely been a fast-paced game. Face-off comes to Dandro's left. Bebo takes the draw against Crawford. Now it comes back to Bergmeyer. Shot stopped by Dandro, and he'll cover up. 9:57 in the third. Plattsburgh looking for the equalizer. They trail 3-2. Bergmeyer moves in, stopped by Dandro. Now Crawford gets it. He circles, gets it back to Bergmeyer. Bergmeyer sends it back to the point for Ed Newman. He sends it around back to the net. James is there, centering pass. Crawford, Dandro comes up big once again. Now Bebo breaks it up. He sends it in offside. Boutsiet was caught behind the play, tangled up with Ed Newman. And they call that one. 9:35 to go in the third period. Off the draw, Boutsiet brings it in, drops it to Reed. Reed's shot went wide, goes into the corner. Carter sends it to the far side. Reed intercepts his pass. Reed is tied up by Wallace. Now Reed comes out with it, kicks it over to Boutsiet. Boutsiet moves in, and he tries to get the backhand shot off. Comes to Sherman. He comes in, saved by Belfour, right under the stick of Boutsiet, and it's broken up there by Hoffman. Wallace tries to come out, passes it up to Montgomery. Now onto the stick of Luckin. He's hit by two Northwood men and dumps it in. 8:55 to go in the third. And here comes Northwood. It's too far for Hoffman as Lattenville got on just in time to break it up. Lattenville is hit from behind by Carter. Northwood will get a penalty. Carter hit Lattenville from behind, and Plattsburgh will get the power play. Penalty comes at 6:19 of the third period. And the Hornets will have a chance to tie it right here. Lattenville will come off for Plattsburgh. Bebo and Reed have got to be tired. They've been on the ice nearly this entire third period. Off the face-off, it comes back to the point for Dingman. He waits. Bergmeyer comes after him. Comes back to Dingman. Winds up. Shot saved. Belfour. Right there. Oh, my. What is this here? The official blew the whistle, folks. The puck came right onto the stick of Reed, who was open in front of the net. Let's see what we're going to have here. He waves off the call, and this is another case of a rotten call by the officials. Belfour never had control of the puck, not even close to having it. The official blew the whistle with Reed in control of the puck. Give me a break. A terrible call has cost the Hornets a chance at tying this game. Unbelievable. Where is the organist to play Two Blind Mice when you need him? Now off the face-off. It's controlled by Rasko. Back to the point. Dingman winds up, goes into the corner, nearly hits the referee. Sent down ice. Taken there by Bucci. 45 seconds to go. Reed at center. Lost it to James. Bergmeyer breaks up a pass that was intended for Dingman. His shot is deflected by Bucci. Now Bucci with it in back of the net. Half a minute remains in the Hornet power play. Reed tries to come out with it, but it's broken up there. Bebo gets it over to Rasko. He moves in, tried to get around Wallace, and Rasko fell. Now the puck is sent into the stands. 16 seconds to go in the power play. And if this game stays the way it is, Northwood will definitely thank the officials. Now off the face-off, the puck comes in behind the net. Wallace after it. Luckin can't keep it in. Sherman comes diving over to try to knock it off the stick of Hoffman. Both teams back at full strength. Hoffman gets to the puck, sends it back to the point for Wallace. He waits, comes to the near side. Glennie can't keep it in. Now at center ice, Carter with it. Dumps it over to Montgomery. Montgomery moves in. Shot deflected wide. Luckin falls down as Hoffman gets it to Montgomery, and a save by Dandro. Wallace can't keep it in. And Sherman takes it for Plattsburgh. 6.5 minutes to go in the third. 3-2 Northwood. Now Montgomery tries to come out with it. Tries to split the defenseman, moves in, backhand shot, kick save by Dandro. Now the puck comes into the quarter for Carter. He centers it. Montgomery now gets it back to Newman. His shot deflects off Luckin. Puck falling around in front of the net, and Lattonville sends it down. And they call icing on this play, despite the fact that it was touched by Ed Newman on their own side of the ice. But then again, the way this game has been officiated, I'm not surprised. 6:04 to go in the third. Now Reed comes out with it for Plattsburgh. He's bothered on the play, takes a swipe at Newman, and it's not called. Puck comes in behind the net. Newman gets it to Crawford. Now back to the point for Dingman. Puck comes up to the blue line. Crawford brings it out. Crosses the Plattsburgh line, moves in, gets off a shot. Dandro makes the save, and he covers up. 5:29 to go in the third period. The score still 3-2. Lattonville takes the draw for Plattsburgh against Crawford. Crawford gets it for Northwood. Backhand pass for Bergmeyer. He's bothered by Sherman. Dandro comes up big on a man wide open in front. Now Rasko moves in. Has Bucci open on the left. Shot, score! Rasko moved in, had Bucci open in front, elected to shoot, and it was the right decision. And Plattsburgh ties it at 3. The goal comes at 9:52. Now Sherman for the Hornets gets it to Rasko, who dumps it right back in. Belfour leaves it behind the net. Bucci gets to it first, but Wallace is there to come in and help out. He tried to clear it, stopped by Luckin at center. He spins around, sends it in. Glennie with it for Northwood. Now it's center ice. Here comes Hoffman. Hoffman knocked off the puck, gets it back. Right there is Montgomery, and Carter can't poke it home. Now Glennie with it in his own zone. Bothered by Bucci. He's pulled down. They got to call this one. Bucci puts it into the net, but they're going to wave this one off. And properly, because Bucci just tripped Glennie in front of the goaltender. And with 4:28, Northwood will have the power play. Plattsburgh coaching staff is not happy with that call. But then again, they're probably not happy with the way this entire game has been called. By all rights, Plattsburgh should be leading 4-3. .428 remains. Northwood on the power play as Bucci gets called for the trip. Now Newman sends it over, and it's up to center ice. It comes back to Newman. Crawford dumps it in. Luckin goes after it for the Hornets. He winds up, can't clear it as Newman kept it in at the point. Winds up, shot goes wide, off the glass, and Dandro covers up. .405 remains in the period. 107 in the power play. Tied at 3. Now the Hornets clear it out to center. Newman goes after it. We're under 4 minutes to go. Newman loses it to Reed. Here comes Reed where the Hornets has Bebo behind him. Reed winds up. Saved by Belfour. Now James comes back for Northwood. He brings it in behind the net. Bothered by Luckin. Goes to the far side for Bergmeyer. Dingman goes after him. Glennie was dumped in front. Now it comes back to Newman. Newman winds up. Glove save by Dandro. James takes a poke at him, and we get a whistle. 25 seconds to go in the power play for Northwood. 3:23 in the third. Tied at 3. In the games we've done so far for Hometown Cable, this by far has been the closest. Now Bergmeyer for Northwood. Top of the face-off circle. 15 to go in the power play. Sends it to Newman. Newman's pass was too far for Bergmeyer. It goes into James. Bergmeyer comes in to help out. Takes it around back of the net. 5 seconds to go in the power play. Now Glennie. Back to the point for Crawford. Both teams now back at full strength. Crawford sends it to Newman. Newman shot. Dandro makes the save. Rebound shot wide by James. Now Glennie. Knocked off the puck by Dingman. Dingman controls for Plattsburgh. He tries to clear it out. And it's kept in by Crawford. Sherman gets it for Plattsburgh. 2:35 to go. Now Bucci for the Hornets. Rasko now up for Jeff Lattenville. He dropped it back for Rasko. Here comes Northwood. 3-on-2. Crawford moves in. Pass back and behind Bergmeyer. Now Bucci for the Hornets. Leaves it for Rasko. Shot. Save Belfour. Rebound right in front. Now Luckin for Plattsburgh. Loses it. Bergmeyer comes in, and offside on the far side was Crawford. 2:05 to go in the third period. Tied at 3. You're watching Plattsburgh High School hockey on Hometown Cable. Now Bucci with the puck for Plattsburgh. Loses control, dumps it in, taken there by Ed Newman. Tried to get it to Carter, but it was broken up by Bucci. And now the puck comes back in, and offside on the play was Montgomery. Minute 50 to go in the third period. And fatigue may play a part in this game, as both teams have gone with their top lines quite a bit in this period. Off the draw, dumped into the Northwood zone. Belfour leaves it for Newman. It comes back to the point for Patel. He winds up. Shot went wide right there. They score! Eric Reed off the rebound, and the Hornets lead it 4-3. Patel took the original shot. It went off a Northwood player right under the stick of Reed, and Belfour had no chance. Reed will get credit for the goal with an assist from Patel. It comes at 13-20, and the Hornets lead it 4-2. Four to 3, rather. Now Bootsiet comes back. No one on the far side. He dumps it in, and Plattsburgh will be content now to try to kill the clock. Right under the stick is a shot. Reed, big save, Belfour. Now Reed dives to get it back to Luckin, but here comes Northwood. Lattonville dumps it back down. They wave off the icing. Glenny will go after it. 1:10 to go in the period. Glenny, pass broken up by Bucci. Now Newman gets it back. 60 seconds to go. Dingman chases after it for Plattsburgh. Knocked off the puck by Newman. Newman tried to center, and he was leveled by Dingman. Now Crawford for Northwood. Northwood pulls the goalie. Wide open was James. He couldn't poke it home. Wide open net for Rasko. Can he hit it? Yes! Hornets are going to win this one, folks. Rasko hits the open net. The goal comes at 14-18, and Plattsburgh will win it and go to 6-6. Northwood has called their timeout, and it may be too late. 5-3 the score, 42 seconds to go. Hornets huddled around Don Pomeroy and Rob Knowles. Not really all that much to discuss now. 42 seconds to go. Hornets just want to play some solid defense, make sure they don't leave anybody open in front of Rob Dandro. Three unanswered goals in the third period from the Hornets have put them in top 5-3. Off the draw, Sherman gets it to Lucas, and it comes into the Northwood zone. 35 seconds to go. Bergmeyer tried to find Crawford, but Dingman was there to break it up. Now Glenny with the puck. Gets it up to center. Miller breaks it up and dumps it in. 22 seconds to go. Glenny is bothered by Lucas behind his own net. Now gets it up to Crawford with 15 to go. Crawford gets around Dingman, moves in, shot, blocked by Paul Sherman, and Plattsburgh sends it down ice, and its shot goes just wide. They wave off the icing as it went through the crease. 2 seconds to go, and 1 second, and it's over. Outstanding third period for the Hornets. They actually scored 4 goals, although only 3 of them will count, and they come back to defeat Northwood by a score of 5-3. Let's recap the way the game went for you. Northwood scored first. 6 minutes and 6 seconds into the opening period, Jeff Newman scored unassisted. Plattsburgh tied it on the power play, 8:26 in, Eric Reed from Bryce Dingman. Mike Bootsiet made it 2-1, 10 minutes and 41 seconds into the period, unassisted. And Montgomery scored at 11:10 to tie it for Northwood. Now for Montgomery, that was a bit of redemption, because on Plattsburgh's goal that they gave to Reed, it was clearly kicked into his own net by Montgomery. The 1 goal in the second period went on the Northwood side of the board, as Crawford scored with an assist from Bergmeyer. The goal came at 3:01. Third period belonged to the Hornets. Sean Rasko scores at 9:52 to tie the game. And then with just 1:40 to go, Unking Patel takes the shot from the blue line, goes off a Northwood defender, and Eric Reed is all alone in front of the net to poke it past goaltender Gary Belfour. And that gave the Hornets the lead 4-3. No, folks, that was not an earthquake. That was the tripod shaking on us. Plattsburgh got the clincher at 14-18, just 42 seconds to go, as Sean Rasko found the open net, and Plattsburgh wins it by a score of 5-3. That's going to wrap up our coverage of Plattsburgh High School hockey. So for everyone at Hometown Cable, I'm Rick Knowles. Have a good night, everybody.